What is one item you did not realize was expensive until you became an adult? Does Christmas in general count? The best cheap to Christmas gifts is to make DIY gifts or bake food. They are sentimental as you have put more effort in and are cheap to make as well. Edit. I'm baking everyone on my gift list salted pretzels, burnt butter cookies and chocolate truffles. I've been COVID-19 unemployed since the start of all of this and my husband just got let go. We told our friends and families that they are only getting cookies and cakes this year, which they were all very excited about. I should have been doing this every year. My rule of thumb is this: if I can't find a gift within the $20 to $40 price range, it is time to get crafty. I prefer others to do the same, otherwise gift cards and some quality time together. Taking the whole family out to dinner. Man, that she adds up. The biggest financial mistake my wife have made was teaching our kids to enjoy sushi. Man, that she really adds up. Right. I am married but without kids and occasionally we'd dine with my parents and siblings. My siblings and I would just split the cost because man, we feel the burn in the pockets. My dad and mom used to take us out on Fridays, myself and my spouse and 2 kids, both my brothers and both their spouses. Every Friday. Didn't take long to quit that or for us to begin to cycle in paying for dinner, when we realized every Friday cost my parents a few $100. In my country it's kind of custom for the hosts and the guests to fight over the bill. As a kid I believed they legit wanted to pay for the whole table, but now as an adult I wonder how much of the fighting was done with the hope of losing out. A comfortable mattress. Oh bruh, don't want to murder your spine you say. That'll be £2,500, and we throw in 2 free pillows for an extra £500. Top tip, look out for the eBay 15% off deal which comes around pretty frequently. It always has refurbished Simba mattresses in it. These are basically mattresses people trialed for a short time, didn't like, and sent back. They entirely replace the covers and you get basically a brand spanking new mattress for a fraction of the cost, then eBay knocks another 15% off. We bought a king size and 2 singles for a few £100, and they are amazing. Edit to add, wow this got popular, glad you appreciate the tip. As an update, I checked the sales history and our king size mattress cost £350 with delivery etc. I think the singles were more like £125-150 each, but I can't find the sales history. It might have been on my husband's account. All told I think it cost about £650 for 3 of the best mattresses on the market. For further reference, they are currently £657 for just a king size on their website. Curtains. Fabrics in general cost a freaking fortune. No wonder nobody sews anymore. Yeah, if you break into a fancy house, steal the curtains and you got like 5-12k easily. Steal their front door too if you have the time. Those things also cost an absurd amount of money. Owning a car. I knew buying one was expensive, even second-hand, but just owning one. Car insurance, road taxes, gasoline, yearly maintenance, even it just sitting in the parking lot during the pandemic, it's costing me quite a bit. I used to own a car that I'd only used to drive to the supermarket once a week. With insurance, depreciation and maintenance all considered, I calculated that it would have been cheaper to hire a limousine to take me there and back each week. Sold the car, and used home delivery rather than a limo service in future. Insulin. Boy howdy was I not ready. I knew a dude who drove up to Canada every few months because it was like $20 there. For reference, I live in Iowa. I also live in Iowa. Factoring in cost of gas, because it's quite a ways back and forth. Still probably cheaper to drive to Canada. Tires. I always imagined they were like $50 a piece and the installation was part of the sales price. First time I saw a $700 bill for 4 new tires, I about cried. A lot of that is inflation. A place to live. My shock when I realized a parking spot in New York is worth more than a 3-story apartment building in my country. Gravestones. Most of my family members were cremated, those who died, except for my grandma. It's a nice memorial that she chose completely and it's pretty basic. $30,000 Canadian dollars roughly. Blows my frickin' mind. Cremate the shit out of me. Edit, gravestones and coffin and other graveyard costs. Most of my family were cremated, those who died. Thanks for the clarification. So, I'm going to tell this story here, and I'm sure no one's gonna see it, but there's no funeral and I gotta say something. I grew up poor. Appalachian poor. A trip to Walmart and McDonald's in the town 25 miles away was considered fancy and a treat. Had ramen noodles as dinner multiple nights a week. When I was 7, we went to freaking Disney World. My aunt had gotten a good union job up north with GM, made good middle-class money, and by the 90s and after some promotions, good upper middle-class money. And wherever and whenever she could, she topped off mom's own finances, bought school supplies, drove down 5 hours to drive me places, so I could experience things and see that there was more than the bullshit of my dumb little small rural town. Because she didn't want me turning out like a lot of kids where I'm from do, with the boys dropping out at 16 and the girls pregnant half the time by the same age. And then ignorant and on something half the time. That woman was on a goddamn mission to keep me from falling into the trap, to get out. And part of showing me that middle-class existence was vacations. Every year, once or twice, we went somewhere. Always on her dime. Most of them were regional, Opera Island and Dollywood, Kings Island in Ohio 1 year. And 1 year we went to Disney World. Souvenirs. Let's see, sure. Food. Let's try new things. This is $100, and happy birthday, it's yours to spend on whatever you want, and neither your mom nor I can say no. It was the best goddamn birthday I ever had. It was literally the first time I ever heard someone speak a language other than English. It was the first time I'd ever seen more than 1 to 2 people of color in person and not just on TV. Other countries. Plus all the trappings that come with a Disney park and a 7-year-old kid. I wound up working for the mouse about 15 years later. During part of the new hire orientation, they told us what the average family of 4 spends on the park. Quick look at some historical prices online and an inflation calculator later. I literally called her at dead-ass 8 p.m. at night crying, realizing what she'd done and really realizing for the first time how much she'd spent on me. Disney World is freaking expensive, and I got shown a different life because I had a relative capable and willing to pay for it to show her sister's idiot kid a different way of life. And I got out. I have my own vehicle, I live in one of the largest cities in the country, and within a few years, I'll be in a place financially to help out my own extended family in some of the same ways. She passed away last week because of a brain tumor, and thanks to COVID there's no memorial, and I've been sitting on a ton of feelings and haven't been able to really have a place to express them. Even if absolutely no one ever sees this or reads this, I just needed to say it. And y'all, Disney World is freaking expensive. Fast food, I guess mom was right, we do have food at home. I guess we do after all.